Hello friends, it's the Stitches. You might notice this pile of fabric behind me. Boy, do I have a video for you today. So recently my parents cleaned out their storage. They actually completely got rid of their storage unit and they found a massive tub full of fabric that I had in high school. I think I had set this fabric aside to be sold in a yard sale at some point, and this is the fabric that didn't sell. I think I intended for it to be donated, but that clearly never happened. I'm not really sure what to call this video. It's kind of a haul because this is a bunch of fabric that I technically didn't have before, but it's also not a haul because technically I did have this fabric before, I just didn't know that I did. But I'm also gonna be deciding what fabric I'm going to keep and what fabric I'm going to rehome. I do have some friends that sew and I think I'm gonna try to organize a sort of crafty swap meet. Any fabric that they don't want can go to a local thrift store that sells fabric. None of it will be getting thrown away, but I don't think I want to keep all of it. So let's go through the fabric. I'm gonna start with my little scraps. First, I have a couple pieces of this like floral stuff. It's really cute and it is a really high quality fabric. It's like a nice sateen. I'm gonna put this in the to go to swap meet pile, and then if nobody in my little circle of friends wants it, then I might keep it. Next, just some plain yellow cotton. It's always good to have like little scraps of plain cotton, so I'll keep that. I made a pair of shorts out of this when I was in high school and it was my favorite pair of shorts ever, and then recently I had to admit that I'm probably never going to fit into them ever again, so I had to sell them on Depop, but luckily a lovely person on Depop bought them, so they at least will be appreciated by somebody. But I just really love this denim. I've never seen anything remotely like it since I found it, and this is vintage. This came from my mom, so I don't think I could replace it if I got rid of it. And also like bubblegum pink and white stripe, I will find a use for this. Next we have some gingham. It's not true gingham, it's like some weird synthetic, but I mean it's gingham in colors that I do like. I got like a bright sunshiny yellow, a little purple. The purple is actually the whitest one, and then some hot pink. And yet I don't see why I wouldn't use it. So next we have a tiny, I don't even know if you can really see this. It's like one of those patterns where there's a dot and then there's like three little, it's just like a really teeny tiny pattern and it's on cream. I don't think I will ever use that. This is kind of just like a cute little simple floral, but like the fabric quality isn't really there. It's kind of like, it's weirdly stiff for being so thin, and it is like see-through thin. It's a really cute pattern, but like I just, it can go. I used to have a dress made out of this. This also came from my mom's fabric stash. It's very 90s, but I just don't see myself wearing this color. This is another really nice piece. It's another really like old-fashioned floral. I think this came from my grandma. I think I found this in her scraps, but I think it's just a little bit too old-fashioned for me. That can go. Here's another like nice pattern, but it's like that weird crunchy fabric from the 90s that I don't even really know what it is. Yeah, this is like a textured synthetic. It's weird. Like it's cute and all, but just it doesn't feel right in my hands and I don't like touching it. Here's another bit. It's got some like rainbow polka dots on it, but it's just a very small piece. Is it big enough to make pockets out of? A good use for like small little scraps is to make pockets. I don't even think I can make pockets out of this. This can go. Next stack of scraps, I have, this is like a robin's egg blue with like a cream stripe going through it. It's a nice quality and it's very, very vintage. I just don't, blue doesn't really super flatter my skin tone, so I gotta be careful with like my tones of blue. And I feel like this is not a flattering blue on me, so I'll probably pass that along to somebody else. This I made a dress out of like a long time ago, like a full Lolita dress. It was very Rococo inspired and it actually had a border print, but I like used all of the border print for the dress, so this is just like the sad remainder of the fabric. I just don't see myself using it, so that can go. This is actually a really nice stripe. It's got like a little metallic thread in it. It's just a very small piece. Like if it was a big piece, I would maybe make a blouse out of it, but since it's such a small scrap, I don't really see myself using it for like a small project. Here's another small gingham, another synthetic gingham. I might use that. This is a really cute fabric that I had another dress made out of. It's got like little bears and little pigs and little rabbits riding these like dove boats. It's really cute. I really love this. I think I do have enough to make pockets out of this, so I'll probably put pockets in a dress using this fabric. And here's a floral. It's actually a really nice floral. it's just very busy, and I just don't really wear busy prints, so that can go. Here we have like a heart polka dot pattern, but the hearts are in rainbow colors. I feel like this could also make pockets. I'll take this to swap meet, and if nobody wants it, then I'll keep it. And another floral, this is like a yellow, an orangey yellow floral. It's kind of like a lace pattern. It's meant to look like, I think, a lace overlay on top of the yellow because it has like the netting printed in between the flowers. It's cute. I just don't think it's my style, so that can be passed on to somebody else. We're starting to get into my bigger scraps. So this is some dark wash denim. Personally, I don't have anything that's dark wash denim, but my boyfriend does, and he has a job where it's very physically demanding, and he does put holes in his clothes every once in a while, so if I ever need to patch any of his jeans, this is like the perfect patch material, so I am gonna hang on to this. Here's like a dark fleecy plaid. I don't have any use for that. Here's another little heart pattern. It's like on a peach background. It's like really teeny tiny hearts. Like if you put it far away, you can't really tell what it is. It's also just a really small piece, so that can go. This I'm kind of torn on. So this is another like very old school floral, but it just kind of reminds me of like porcelain china dishes. And it's a really nice quality sateen, and there's a decent amount of it. I could probably make something, but I can't really think of like off the top of my head what I would make out of it and how often I would wear it, because it just doesn't really fit in with the rest of my style. So maybe this will be another one of those maybes where I take it to a swap meet, and then if nobody wants it, I might decide to keep it. This is some like tealy, this is a corduroy. It's really nice, and this actually goes with something else that we'll get to later in the video. I will hang on to that. I don't know where this came from. I think this might have been something that my great-grandmother had. It's a little bit like acid rock for me. I'll go ahead and pass that on. This fabric, I can't decide if I love it or if I hate it. It has a really nice floral design. It's really cute. I love the pattern. It even has like a nice, it's like a fleecy material. It feels really nice, but here's the thing, it's a knit, and I know how to use knit, so it's not really the problem, but like it doesn't have any stretch to it. Like it's definitely a knit, but it's not a stretch knit. And it's really weird to me because like we don't make fabrics like this anymore. Like this is vintage, and I don't know how old it is. I don't remember who gave it to me. And like it's just such an odd fabric that I don't know what to do with it, because it's like It's a knit, so my instinct is to make like a stretchy top out of it, but it's not a stretch knit, so if I did make a top out of it, it wouldn't be particularly flattering. And it's also like fleecy, so like I do really love print, and I feel like once I figure out what to do with it, I will be very happy with whatever I make with it. Next, I have a small bit of lining fabrics. I'm not a particularly big fan of this type of lining. I'll get rid of the blue because when am I gonna need this color? But I will keep the white because I might be making a white garment right now that could use a bodice lining, so. All right, we're getting into the fabric that I have actual full widths of. So this is something that I got from my mom. There was a certain point where they were making a lot of dog clothes. If you look at it just head on, you would assume that this is some sort of like novelty fleece because like this is just the type of pattern that would go on that type of fabric. But this is actually like a jersey knit. This is like t-shirt material. Full on two-way stretch. Oh, I guess it's just, no, it's a two-way stretch. It just has much more stretch this way than it does this way. But like, my question is who would want a shirt made out of this? Just some brown fleece. I don't know why I would want that, so that can go. This is a novelty fleece. It's like a giraffe print. I think this was also intended to be dog clothes at some point. And then I honestly don't know. Like, this came from my parents, but I don't know why they bought it. It's felt, like the same felt that you get in those little like 8.5 by 10 sheets for like 40 cents. This is the same felt, only it's by the yard, so they just bought a ton of it, and it's also brown. I don't know what the purpose of this was. Like, why? This I bought at Hancock Fabrics, back when that was still a thing. I clearly bought this when I was going through my brief little steampunk phase that didn't last very long. I probably intended to make some sort of steampunk Lolita JSK out of this, but that didn't happen, and I still don't think that's ever gonna happen because I don't like steampunk anymore. I really love this, and I don't know why. It reminds me of one of those like old school meta couch prints that everybody makes fun of now, except for like that small group that unironically loves them. I kind of want to make, because I have quite a bit of this, I could definitely make a Metamorphose inspired Lolita skirt out of this, and I think I am going to do that. Here is another piece that I actually bought. I think I also got this at Hancock's. This is like based off of that one little nursery rhyme about like the dish ran away with the spoon. That can be passed on. This is another thing that came from my parents. It's like little chicks that can go. This I also got at Hancock Fabrics. I got it from their Valentine's Day collection. It's got this cute little orangey red gingham, and then it has these little sugar cookies. And I love this print. It kind of reminds me of old school AP, some of their first few prints. I genuinely love this, and I have enough to make a skirt out of it, so I definitely will do that. And I didn't just find fabric, I also found some old projects. Let's see, there are a couple pieces in here that aren't, yeah, so like this is like a scarf that I got for free from somewhere that can go away. This is some sort of like 80s vintage sweater. It also has like a bunch of stains on it. It clearly got washed with something red at one point and then just kind of like absorbed it in like a couple splotches. I don't know if you can see on camera, there's like a splotch right there. It can go. This looks like I was attempting to make a purse at one point. Probably like a magazine project. I used to buy like sewing magazines and try to do the projects in them. So this was probably like a little evening purse that was in one of those magazines. It can go away. This I didn't make. I think this must have been part of a project that either my grandma or my great-grandma worked on at one point. It's like kind of a crepey fabric, sort of red crepey fabric. It's also a very purpley cool toned red. I don't know if this is meant to be a scarf or a belt. It's long enough to be either, but I have no use for either, so that can go as well. This is the other bit of that tealy corduroy. I made this into a little jumper dress at one point. I think I was using a little vintage pattern. It definitely is not one of my nicer pieces. I think I made this when I was away at college. It looks like I made it very sloppily and hastily, and I wasn't really like paying super attention to it, but like the zipper looks halfway decent, so I must have been in college. I kind of want to like finish this because it's not hemmed and the inside seams aren't finished at all. And the facing isn't finished. It's still raw. But it definitely needs a new zipper because the zipper I put in it is too short. Like it only goes down to like the waist. It ends right here, and that's like where the waist of the dress is. So I definitely need to put a different zipper in it. And this last thing I'm going to show you guys today is the first garment I ever made completely by machine. So I would have been like 13 or 14 when I made this. It's like a little like quilting cotton, and it's just got like a simple flounce. I used a simplicity pattern, one of the first simplicity patterns that I bought, and it has like a seam tape to finish the waistband. The zipper in this looks really good, like suspiciously good. I don't know if my mom helps me with it or if my mom actually did it herself and like used it to show me how to do it, because like I definitely did not make that zipper by myself when I was 13. Like it looks way too good to be 13-year-old me's skill level at zippers, so I highly doubt I did that unassisted. But it's not anything that I would wear now, but it's just gives me a lot of nostalgia to look at it. I think I wore it to school like a couple times maybe. Let's look at the ultimate damage here. So it's a little bit bigger. This side is definitely much more like pastel than this side. So yeah, hopefully I will find some good homes for this stuff, but I hope that this was entertaining, and that is all that I have for today's video. I hope everybody has a good day, and I will see you all next time. Bye!